Good morning, Seattle. My name's Charles Leggett. I'm a local actor here. I've been living in Seattle for over 30 years. I'd like to present a poem to you this morning. This is a poem that I first encountered in a wonderful online literary magazine called The Offing. It's called Legal Tender and was written by a New York City poet by the name of Kyle DeCuyan, who has graciously extended his permission for me to present the poem to you today. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope maybe to see you out in the streets marching for Black lives. Have fun. I am interested in poetry as a means of enacting through new shared language a community that had not previously existed. I am interested in a you in me that corresponds to a you in you. Or rather, I should say, I am interested in we, our, with, correspondence, plurality, betweenness. I mean between you and me. I am interested in the territories of truth a poem makes through language, through listening. Listen. I was accidentally, in December, in the stripper room at Twist, bass rattling the champagne flutes in their upside-down display contraption, loose cigarettes clumped into some highballs, the go-go boys exchanging cock rings for underneath their underpants, one giving an older gentleman what looked like a very thorough deep-tissue massage, and the collaginess of this, I thought, is really how the poem works. How glass speaks to music, how muscle to the touch, the lonely to the working. The work is sometimes dancing. Dancing could be talking, talk being the exchange that happens, counter market in a poem. I am interested in the phrase legal tender, that tender can be given to receive a good or service, that goods are what comprise our commerce, that items bear the claim of virtue. The only currency that abides is how we choose to spend our time. I am interested in sex as a unit of time. Portraiture is another, as a record of the attention reflected between subject and painter. I sat 6 hours recently for a friend who painted me, and as we spoke I felt the furniture in the attic of my brain go with blessing out the door like a home divvied peacefully of its tchotchkes by the family of the newly dead. Every time I speak, the room more brightly empties. I am interested in junk, its collectors and purveyors, the idea of the life of objects, the could have been, the undertaken, the left out, the disabused, the foolishness of keeping, the should have known better, the anyway, the regardless, the disregarded, the blighted out, the brink, the knife shine and the new, the bilious, the belligerents, the backward and the nowhere, the wherewithal, the all but lost, the severance, the relief, the with, the scythe, with, the withering, the inflorescence, the overgrowth, the outbreak, the pilloried, the scourge, the dearth and what we kill for, the oblivion and what we kill for, what the for is at the root of killing, what the for of anything, speech especially, could be, and why the talking happens still, and how naming can endow an object with an aura, with an orbit, can make the crackle happen, can lack and from the lacking tussle for its footing, can embody where the body was a cipher, can make stand the child face down in the street, in the sand, in the corridors of a school, can constitute the corridors from the veins of antimatter, can constitute room enough for belongings. Belonging can dissemble the Constitution to make room for what's unalienable, can dissemble who the we who hold the truth is. I am interested in no as a sound that makes a circle I am summoning a force through, and so as a word that means a clause of change is upon us, and us as a word that alchemizes you with S into something altogether different. I am interested in you, your magnetism, the magnet look of you, the letter, the polarities we write from, the places from which my parents wrote their letters in the 80s, Virginia and Manila. I am interested in my parents who in their early twilight have taken to the stars, my father who doesn't want to die in America, my mother who doesn't want to die in the Philippines. The recognition as I grow older that home is where you choose to spend what time is left, if you have the privilege of choice, which many of us do not. I am dancing tonight at a party where the rules are no lights, no touching, no substances, only music and bass especially, and down the neon corridors that happen inside closed-eye concentration, the blue-on-fire focus that assembles when the mind is most alive and undisturbed by sense. I come upon the memory of my parents stargazing side by side. I stay until they turn to statues. Time passes and the statues turn to sand. Time passes and they are resurrected into glass by lightning. The glass forms the window of a home I render freely and alone. I look through the glass that is my parents at an ocean with no dominion. The room more brightly empties. I empty. I bliss. I kiss my parents. There is nothing else.